There's nothing finer to me than to be on the water when that sun comes peeking in under that Carolina sky in the Lord's creation. Ripping some lips on my favorite waters, taking Bryan hog adventures with some of my best buddies.
Hey family, welcome back to the Bryan Hog Adventures Inshore Saltwater Podcast. This is Cory, and I can't thank you enough for tuning in. As you know, though, nothing happens on this side of the microphone without some great partners. We had great partners last year, and we've added some great partners this year. They are expert in their fields, and they will help you get on the water, around the water, or situated to go on the water in the best way possible. Can I tell you about our friends that make this possible? Stroud & Son. Located in Edenton, North Carolina, you can find them at stroudandson.com for all your sales, service needs in northeastern North Carolina, whether it be for Suzuki, Key West, Carolina Skiff, Power Pole, Garmin, Minn Kota. They have an updated showroom. They have their kayaks, their swag. They can get you on the water and looking better than you ever have and ready to be functional in a moment's notice. Call them for all your sales and service needs. You can reach them again at stroudandson.com or at 252-482-8938, and make sure you tell them Cory and Gaston sent you. That's where we bought our boats, and you should too. Fox Hollow Outdoors. You can reach them at foxhollooutdoors.com. Michael and Larkin, they have real moments for real adventures and for real lessons in the outdoors. You can catch them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. They have award-winning seasonings, recipes, gear, and new adventures now on Waypoint TV. Make sure you check them out every other Tuesday. They drop new episodes, and they can carry you all over the country with them, seeing the greatness of God's creation and just what you can experience with your family also. Lakeside Realty. You can reach them at lakesiderealtync.com. Jean Furlow can be reached at 252-394-6100. She serves all of Eastern North Carolina and beyond with honesty, integrity, and professionalism. If you're looking to move land, a home, or looking for your next place in a slice of paradise, she is licensed in all of North Carolina and can help you find your dream. Andrew Norman and Nautical Perfections Boat Care. He can come to your place or theirs. You can get top quality washes, waxes, details, and more. You can reach Andrew at 252-944-6231. He is the exclusive provider of boat care for myself along with Gaston. He keeps our Key West looking top shape, and he can help you also. Now Michelin rated, a NC Standard and Whole Hog Barbecue. Sam Jones and Michael Letchworth have two locations to serve you, in Winterville and Raleigh. In Winterville, you can find them at West Fire Tower Road, and in Raleigh, you can find them at 502 West Lenore Street. You can also find them and put in your...
This audio was created with async.com.
You can find them at 502 West Lenore Street. You can also find them and put in your order there at samjonesbarbecue.com. Keep an eye out. You might just see us sitting in there when you go to visit. Amazing food, amazing service, and amazing prices. Soundside Sporting Goods. You can find them at soundsidesportinggoods.com. It says we hunt, we fish, and we are local. They are your one-stop shop for all things hunting, fishing, guns, and more. They are experienced, and Randy and the crew over there can help you get outfitted for anything you might need, from a novice to a expert. 252-374-0056, located on Highway 64 in Columbia, just down from the food line. Redline Rigs, redlinerigs.com. Your popping cork and soft plastic headquarters. They're American-made, angler-tested, and fish-approved. Slinging slime isn't a crime. From the massive thump of the Buttercup to the explosive action of the Carolina Boom, they craft baits that catch fish. Find them at your local tackle shop or online at backwaterbandits.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Instagram, and if you don't see them in your local tackle shop, make sure you reach out and let them know that you want to be seen there. Matt Little Farm Bureau. For farm, home, auto, and life, contact Matt and his team today. They cover Washington County and the state of North Carolina. You can reach them at 252-793-2134. Matt is my insurance carrier, and I'll be glad to support you his way and his team's direction. Belhaven Oyster Company. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. You can contact them at 252-944-5964. Nathan and his family are growing some of the best tasting, cleanest, highest quality oysters on the East Coast. Park Boat Company. You can find them at parkboat.com. Bryan and the team at Park Boat Company have been in business for over 70 years, and they're ready to help you with your sales and service needs. With brands like Yamaha, Mercury, Grady White, Bay Rider, Chaparral, and Sportsman, Park Boat can help you get on the water now with two locations in Washington and Manio. They have you covered from the IBX to the LBX. 252-946-3248. And ECIC, East Carolina Inshore Club. Tim, Chris, Lambert, and the crew over at ECIC can be reached at 531-1413 They're an inshore trout fishing club open to you, to anyone that has a passion for fishing and giving back. All are welcome. You can follow them on Facebook, get involved, or reach out to Gaston and I, and we'll point you in the right direction. We just want to say thank you to all these great sponsors for making what happens on this podcast possible. Now let's get back to our show. All right, y'all, welcome back to Blind Hog Adventures, the Inshore Saltwater Podcast. We are here with, of course, my good buddy, Captain Gaston King. We're at a special place today. We are actually at Park Boat Company, and I've got some really cool guests with us today. We're going to be talking to the folks of ECIC. We're going to be talking about the things coming up and different stuff like that with the new season coming up, new sponsors that have come on board, the partnerships that are going to be happening down the road with the Neuse River Fishers of Men, the Belhaven Trout Tournament, how the trout has been affected by our recent cold snap here, all kind of stuff. But it's a really good episode that's going to be hitting for you guys today. So we're going to go around and introduce ourselves, but I want to thank you for tuning in. I know there's been a little bit of a hiatus here on the show, and we just thank you for coming back and pass the word along, if you will. Make sure you let us know, what you think and some feedback. But we just want to thank you for hanging around and coming on back as we kind of hit month to month now. So we've surely missed it. So we'll start here with my buddy. I got Captain Gaston King. What's going on, man? How you been doing?
I've been doing good, man. Glad to be back. Y'all know who I am. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and we're going to kick it off to my right-hand side and keep these introductions rolling.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Bryan Harris here with Park Boat Company, and glad to have you guys out, and look forward to this year with ECIC.
Cool. And what's your role here?
I'm general manager.
Okay. All right. Good deal. And we thank you for hosting us. We're here in the Grady White showroom. I mean, we got awesome boats all around us. You can come and get on them, check them out. I mean, there's all kind of stuff around here. But, I mean, just this amazing setup you have here, man. Thank you for hosting us inside
Absolutely.
here today.
Glad to be
little bit of step up from the Redneck Lab beside the room.
Come on now.
But everywhere has its place and its time. And don't worry, y'all. We heading back by the river for too long. So let's head on down next on the road.
Hey, I'm Captain Chris Ivey with Hot Pursuit Fishing, and I'm also the president of Eastern Carolina Inshore Club. And as president of ECIC, that just means that I'm the problem solver.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes, sir.
Hey, Tim Askew. I think I've been on here before. I appreciate it. One thing I can say is the last time I was on your podcast, y'all cooked me a steak, and today I don't see anything. So, I don't know about that. But
we're slacking.
I'm the tournament director for Eastern Carolina Inshore Club, and also with pro staff director for Salty Bay Baits. So, honored to be here today. I appreciate y'all coming and doing this.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, like I said, we're getting back in the swing of things, but also, like we're getting back to our roots. We're highlighting Eastern North Carolina people with Eastern North Carolina impacts, and we can't get any closer to home than this right here because, the East Carolina Inshore group here is such an amazing group. They benefit the fishermen, they benefit the resources. They bring stuff back in means of scholarships and money given back to the community and just all kind of stuff. And I'll let them talk about that a little bit more. But it's just a great way to get kids involved in fishing. And we fished some of the tournaments last year, some of the benefits, and just had an amazing time. And I'm not a tournament fisherman at all, but was able to compete and have a really good time. Felt more than welcome. And so appreciate y'all including us, getting us involved. And so why don't we kind of talk about that? We got matter of fact, with the tournaments kicking off and stuff like that, we have a great big kickoff starting off this month in March. It seems to be the 2-day. I know you got some new sponsors you want to talk about. You want to talk about why we're sitting in Park Boat Company today, for example. And I know there's some good prizes that are going to be along with that and some raffles and things like that to help with giving back, the heart of things and how it works. So I'll turn it over to Tim and Chris and let you guys kind of talk about that, and then with the partnerships, of course, chime in, please, man. And let's just, I'm gonna give you all the floor. Please light it up.
Appreciate it. Yeah. We last September, Bryan reached out to me, Bryan and Scott here at Park Boat Company, and came on board with Eastern Carolina Inshore Club, and then they decided to come on board with the Belhaven Festival, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And it's been a great partnership. Bryan here has worked really hard since he's an honorary board member because he has worked hard to bring in sponsorship and to help us, and he's passionate about giving back to the community and helping us with the kids. We had Christmas, we had a big boat here that we filled up with toys, those things. So our first tournament was supposed to be this coming weekend, but with the stun, we delayed it until March the 27th, 28th, and it'll be the 2-day Park Boat Company Grady White tournament. And it'll be $5,000 first place guaranteed. So you want to talk a little bit about that, Chris?
Yeah, that's huge. $5,000 guaranteed first place for a trout tournament in Eastern North Carolina. You know, several years ago, we'd have never even believed that was possible. So, I mean, that is a huge deal. And again, just like what Tim said, all we are ever doing is trying to build and make and do charitable, get money so that we can give back to the community. And this just takes us to another level. We really are looking at 2026 almost like it's a breakout year. We want to grow. We want to build ECIC with the hopes that we can be even more charitable in what we do.
So if someone wants to get involved with this tournament coming up, because it's getting pushed back a month, I mean, this is going to come out in the first week of March. So you guys have still got plenty of time to sign up, you know, to get a team together, to give back more and things like that. And that's what it's all about. And so if they want to get involved with this tournament, how do they do that, Chris?
So with the way that the ECIC tournaments work is we don't do pre-registration.
Okay.
We do everything, and one of the reasons that we do things the way we do is we want it to keep it simple.
Okay.
So if you want to fish a tournament with us, all you have to do is show up on tournament morning. We make Facebook posts about what time registration will be. We hold the captain's meeting right then and there. We go over the rules usually a week or two out. We'll do a Facebook Live and tell everybody what the rules are so there's no confusion. We'll talk about blast-off procedures that morning, and you just pay your registration fee and you go fish, and then you come back in at the end of the day, and then we use an app, so we're very conservation oriented. It's catch and release. And especially now that the trout is closed due to our...
Go into that, because if you hadn't mentioned it, I wanted to. With how you guys do that with the app, so it is, before even the closure now, it was very conservation minded, and I guess last year kind of drove you to that because you couldn't bring the fish up, so you had to find a way to do that. But kind of talk about that just a touch.
Yeah, we found, we knew last year, we had a stun last year, and the trout season got closed down until July 1st. Well, our tournaments begin in February. But we knew if we wanted to continue to have tournaments and be able to help the community, that we had to
make a shift,
punt and figure out another way to do it. So
yeah.
Tim and I talked a lot, and he was like, man, he had heard about Fish Donkey and said, what do you think? And I said, well, let me look into it.
Yeah, I know Bryan and them down with the Neuse River had gone to that same route. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd heard about that also through there.
I got on the phone with Fish Donkey and they educated me, and I don't know how many conference calls I had with Fish Donkey to make sure that when we kicked it off, it was done right. But the way it works basically is you catch a fish. And so we're a speckled trout tour. You catch a speckled trout, you measure it on a measuring board, and then you weigh it in a video, and then you let the fish go. Well, it keeps up with the weights for you, and then that way, we're not having to we're not a kill tournament.
And also, I know that so me and Gaston used it last year for the first time, and honestly, if we could figure it out on the go, y'all, anybody can figure it out. And so, I mean, it cold.
Our problem is we didn't have many fish.
We didn't get a lot of practice. We didn't get a lot of practice, but even the ones we did, we were able to do that. But we did catch more than 4 fish, and it culled our fish out. It did all that kind of stuff for us. There weren't a lot of, it wasn't a lot of hassle and learning curve and stuff like that. It's a free app. Didn't cost us a dime to do it, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, man, that's really awesome that there's ways out there now adapting with the times and the changes, right?
Oh yeah.
And Chris Ivey don't want to take a lot of pat on the back, but we couldn't do it without him. He's the brains. I tell everybody, I'm the face of ECIC, but Lambert and Chris are the brains. They Chris jumped right on it. He took care of it, and we couldn't have done it without him. So he don't. I want to kind of give him a pat on the back because he won't give himself one and all. But we couldn't do what we do without Chris. So
and you are a pretty specimen, so I can see why you are the face.
I know, right? I mean, I'm handsome.
Well, I want to ask a question.
You're trying to grow this chairman or what? Got to get somebody prettier.
So you had your first year with the Fish Donkey app.
Mm-hmm.
Hiccups. Obviously there's a learning curve there. So, I mean, how do you feel going into the second year on Fish Donkey?
I would say that I'm a bit of a perfectionist. When I take a project on, I did a lot of project management in my previous career, so I don't like surprises. So before we ever launched it, we did a Facebook Live so that everybody could get on, and we recorded it and taught people how to do it. We figured out there's a strategy or a protocol that if you'll use it every time, it's easy. And I think we only probably had maybe a couple of times we had. This is a funny story. I'm sorry, but
No,
when you get done weighing the fish, you take a picture first, then you weigh the fish. You got 30 seconds. Well, you're supposed to release the fish into the water because you don't want. Well, we told everybody you got to release the fish. We actually had a team this year that was releasing them into the live well. But I like to eat fish.
Release to the grease, right?
That's it. And I'm not calling any names, and they weren't in that particular tournament. They weren't in the top 10, but we had it was a fun conversation. I was like, buddy, you got to release them into like the water they came from, not into the water in the live well. And he was like, but we were going to eat them.
That's where specifics matter.
And if I remember when I downloaded that app, it gives you like a tutorial on how to use it when you download it too. But same thing. We figured it out after a couple of fish. I think we just didn't pick the right category to weigh the fish in at the top. We didn't scroll and. Somebody said at one time we were kicking everybody's butt because we were putting them in the same category. Like I can't remember what it was, but it was easy to fix because Lambert got it fixed when we got back.
And that's the beauty of it. It stores it in your phone. And then if you come in and you've had a problem, Lambert or Wesley, which Wesley verifies all of them for us, and Wesley Braxton and Chris, they can figure it out and they can fix it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you've lost it.
And I will tell you, there is a sequence, and you need to follow it because I can tell you when I got out there doing a couple of them, that it puts you on like a 30-second timer or 20, whatever it was. Yeah. If you do the sequence, it ain't so bad. But if that fish starts whacking around and doing different stuff, it'll kind of get your nerves tore up a little bit because you want to make sure you're following the sequence, and stuff like that. But it's fun, but it's a little bit of pressure. But after you get a couple, it weren't so bad. But it's not bad at all.
We had to put a fish back in the water and revive it. It took us so long the first time.
Cory and our first fish, we were a little nerve-wracking.
It was because you wanted to make sure everything counted right. You wanted to make sure it's got to count, and then like, dude, that's why there's video. We can help. We'll got you, man. We'll get through it. Yeah.
Well, the flounder tournament last was the first time Lambert and I had used it, and we had 4 fish that we weighed that we didn't ever save, so they never went anywhere. I mean, we didn't even have them on the video to show Chris. But once we figured that out, then it was smooth sailing. But it was just so that's why I recommend everybody try.
Those, y'all would have won.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for that, 'cause, we had a 12-pound. No,
biggest bull.
That's right.
I would say too, like just for anybody that's listening, if you're nervous about it or if you have questions, call somebody. Call me. Call somebody that does it, because once we explain the procedure to you, it's almost like a light bulb will go off and you'll be like, oh, that's easy. I got it.
Yeah, it does make a lot of difference. It really does. So let's talk more before we come off the tournament, because I said with it is being the kickoff, and this one's going to be different. It's going to be based out of Washington, not Belhaven, right? Yeah. All right, so usually y'all's tournaments last year was based out of Belhaven. Okay, this year there are going to be a little bit of difference in that, if I remember right. You're going to have one in Swan Quarter, and you're going to have something here in Washington.
Yep.
So because of that being a little different, let's talk about that, because they may be familiar with the Belhaven setup, but they may not be familiar with I know, for example, I wouldn't be familiar with the Washington setup. Mm-hmm. So talk about that a little bit.
Talk about that, Bryan.
So we have a dry stack across the bridge here in Washington called Inner Banks Marina, where we've got our own private boat ramp. We've got probably 4 acres or so of open parking. So really, I think as far as their tournament flow goes, it's all going to be just like being in Belhaven, just going to be a new territory to cover. And Tim, said he knows fishing better than I do, but the trout move up the river this time of year, and it'd be better fishing here, or less drive, not necessarily better, but guys could fish locally without having to drive an hour or two by water. So,
well, and that's the cool thing is I honestly had not heard where you were going to put over. I was honestly, one of the questions I had was where are they going to put the boats over at, because the place down here by Backwater Jacks or whatever isn't that big, and so that's a really good thing to cover there. Is so, and if you're familiar with Washington, you're coming downtown, just go across the bridge and it's right on your right hand side, like you're going to Chocowinity or the roller skating rink and stuff like that.
Yep.
You've probably rode by it, not even paid attention to it, but that's right there. I know exactly what you're talking about now. So I'm glad you covered that. And then have you guys got it set up on the times and dates and stuff like that of when you'll have people show up and stuff so far?
We will as it gets closer.
Okay, so that's going to be part of the putting out and things
we'll
like that.
publish all that on Facebook.
Gotcha.
So just keep a check on the ECIC Facebook page.
And they can join that group and all that kind of stuff and get the updates and all. It's a free group to join and that kind of thing. And they won't hit you with all kind of spam. Usually if they make a post, it's either about something they've done to help back with the community or an upcoming tournament. So you're not going to get a whole bunch of mess, I call it. So you don't have to worry about that. All right. I think we've talked about that one. So let's talk about the other ones that are coming up. Any dates you want to put out of tournaments coming up, stuff like that. But I know this is a really cool experience. So you guys are actually going to have more than one tournament here in Washington this year, correct?
Well, I think since the delay with the stun they had and everything, we're going to move the second one that we were going to do here to Belhaven.
Okay.
It kind of conflicts with it.
So it's fluid. It's more fluid than
It is.
Okay, and that's
this
the thing
time of
about
the year, the super slow. We're not interfering with what they're doing over there at the dry stack, so we kind of have open range there. But once we get out of March and into April, they start to get kind of busy, and really couldn't accommodate everybody with that going on. So, and
that's okay, like you said. But that's the cool part about it. Growing is with growing, you have new things, right? You have new experiences. It's not the same, for you guys that always fish the tournaments and the trail and stuff like that. It gives you a new opportunity, and I mean, I know some people like to go out and mindlessly go through trying to catch fish, and you may go hit the same point or the same thing, and at this time of year, I know I can catch them right here. But as an angler, I think we all want to grow. I mean, I think you all want to get better at your craft, or I hope you want to. I hope you want to know the why of why are the fish moving from the big water back, and why are they moving out at certain times of the year, right? What size of bait you need to try, or whatever. So, I mean, that's part of why we do these podcasts, is teaching and experiencing. Hopefully that's why you're getting on the water, is growing and learning and taking your kids or another youth, because they can include youth on these tournaments, right? And, teaching them the whys, not just to get out there and hopefully we'll do something. Get out there and learn and enjoy it. And it's new scenery on the river, it's new wildlife, it's new ventures. That's one part I've really enjoyed, expanding my horizons and seeing new parts, because I've rode over them on bridges, but I had never seen them by water, and that's a whole different experience, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. I know my daughter has come to love seeing that side of stuff. When she sees birds or ducks go across the water, or just whatever. I mean, she's like, "Holy cow, Dad!" I mean, it's like stuff you see on TV, and she's really enjoyed that. So I know that's something of mine I've enjoyed. So, Chris, I think you've pulled up the schedule there a little bit. So I know this. We'll say this may change a little bit. It may not, but just be mindful, y'all. We've had some things go on already with cold suns, with different things. So they may need to adapt, but that's why you get in the Facebook groups and why you learn and you're a part of it, so they can keep you in the loop. Okay, so I'll turn it over to Chris. Chris, what you got? Where, what, and when? All that stuff.
I want to say something too about some of the things you were just saying. 2 points in general that I caught that you said is that one of the things that our anglers have asked for over the years is being able to fish out of different areas, like fishing different ramps. So being with Park has allowed us to be able to come to Washington.
Yeah.
So, it changes scenery.
Yeah.
Because the guys fish everywhere. And the second point I would say that I heard you say was about the junior anglers and our youth. We're actually doing, Tim, you go more into this, but we're actually doing a youth points championship this year to try to get more youth involved in the fishing with the club. So this year we've got some really good youth sponsors. Tim, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Jared Davis with ProServe Restaurant Equipment. He reached out to us, and he wrote us a really nice check to support the kids this year. So we're going to have a points champion at the end of the year, and it's going to be really good for them. We're still figuring all that out.
ProServe is a name that you really hear coming on strong in the area.
Yeah.
They like to give back, so I'm sure that's a great sponsor. And I've actually got to talk with him, and I know he's involved with the Neuse River. I know he's involved with that group there. I know he's involved here, and so I mean, you're going to hear various sponsors mentioned here today, and I say support the ones that are supporting our area, and that's the reason we mention them. It's not a financial gain or give back to us. It's these people have a heart for the outdoors. They have a heart for the community, and they're the good old country folk like the rest of us. Get out there and support them. And so I'll let you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's a name that I've honestly been hearing more and more of, and had the opportunity to meet. And like you say, quality attracts quality. And that's the one thing I have learned is people, businesses, things like that. When you start to see how stuff settles out. When you start having quality, people are drawn to that, and they want to be a part of it. They want their name associated with it, And if you don't do quality, then you won't see people coming to you. And I think that's the biggest turn on when you say, hey, we've had all these new sponsors and people want to get involved because they see it's not a tax write-off. Yeah, that's great. But it's, hey, I want to be a part of this because it's something bigger than me and something good.
And that's one of the things that impressed me. You know, I had never met Bryan before. The first day I walked in here and we met, and we quickly became really close friends. But his main concern was, we want to be a part. We see what you're doing, giving back to the community and helping people. We don't care if we get anything out of this or not. We want to be a part of it. And that impressed me. So, you know, when somebody does that, you want to work extra hard for them to make sure that they get back. And so ECIC, we try to do that.
And that's the whole reason we're sitting here today in Park Boat and you know, in this Grady White showroom. And
well, that's like Jared with ProServe. You know, he said, you know, I'm probably never going to sell any restaurant equipment out of doing this, but I want to help you. I want to be a part. And our youth anglers, so, you know, we've got like Cory Rocket. You know, he put in some money, you know, to help the kids. I think Mark Askew is kicking in. Battleboro Hardware, JR Maintenance, New Vision Metalworks, and all of those people have come on board and said, what is your goal? What do you want to do? How can we help?
And when you presented it, they said that, hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep. You
good.
know, so it's been one of those things that we started this trail. It started out being just let's go fishing and have some tournament, something to do. I think after the first tournament, it turned in, okay, what can our purpose be? And that's when we started the Randy Lee Vanderford Foundation, where we raise money to help kids. And then it's just continuously spawned off. We want to get kids involved. You know, I'd love to have 50 kids every tournament.
And that's something different about your tournament that I learned last year is you guys do not put a cap on the amount of kids on a boat. Is that right?
Nope.
So it's not just like it's not just one youth. They can bring 2 kids if they wanted to.
I think our rules state, you know, and you got to have some rules, 4 people on a boat. But if there's 3 adults and they've got 2 kids that want to fish, we're gonna let them kids fish.
Okay.
So
and that's really cool. I mean, because I have ran into issues with other tournaments or other things where, you know, I was like, I'll just get myself disqualified, but my kid's going to fish. You know what I'm saying? Or the kid with me is going to fish. I'm not here to worry about a prize. I'm not here to worry about a pot. I'm here to make memories and to memorialize someone or to honor someone. And I'm like, okay, I already know my fate, and I really don't care. I'm gonna have a good time anyway. But I'm just letting you know, when I cast off, there's going to be that many people.
We try to be lenient on things like that because it's, you know, after all, it's about the kids. And if you've got 2 or 3 kids that want to fish, I certainly ain't going to tell them they can't fish because the rules say only 4 people on the boat.
Yeah.
You put them on the boat, you let them fish, and we're going to go from there.
That's cool. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I think that was
no,
something we needed to talk about, and something
absolutely.
special about the tournament, and something special about the trail, and I just wanted to make sure you guys got that out
And
there.
what do you have on the...
Yeah.
I sidebarred you on the schedule. Sorry about that. You know, obviously we were going to have our first tournament on February 27th and 28th, but we just had that. We've had a pretty major trout stun and fish kill in the Pamlico. So we got together, the board got together and decided we would push it off until March 27th and 28th. So our first tournament for 2026 will be March 27th and 28th out of Washington, out of Park Boat Company's facility.
And that's I hate to interrupt, that's a 2-day, a little different than most of your tournaments.
Yeah.
Most tournaments are 1 day. This is a 2-day, correct?
That's right.
A Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
our two-day 2026 kickoff tournament. And from there, help me remember, because I don't have it right in front of me.
We're going to skip April, and then we're going to have the Randy Lee Memorial Tournament in May out of Bellhaven, and then June will be the Bay Rider boat tournament.
June
Park Boat.
20th, I believe, because that's my son's birthday.
Somewhere around there out of June, and that'll be at Swan Quarter.
And we added that June tournament to make up for the tournament that we lost in February. So we'll still have the same number of tournaments.
Now, isn't Bay Rider a new sponsor that's
Yes,
come on also?
absolutely.
Did you want to talk about them a little
Bay
bit?
Rider, they're out of Wilson, North Carolina. Bryan approached them about what we were doing and giving back to the community. And, of course, like I said, Bryan's worked hard.
And you can see them right in the showroom and on the grounds of Park. But when you walk through here, there's some mighty fine boats and looking at those.
Hooked to my truck right now too. They build a good boat, and they're good guys, and they do that. I went and talked to them, told them everything that these guys were doing, and they were tickled to be on board with it. So
Great.
we got a lot of good boats built in Eastern North Carolina. We'll see. There may be some more people come in in the future. to help out as well. Had a couple conversations past weekend, and we're going to keep on growing this thing.
That's cool, man. So, and Swan Quarter is a great place for bay riders because they don't draft much water. So
Yeah.
as you get out there, right? So keep on going, Chris.
And the thing to remember, it's not I don't want people to get the misconception that we get sponsorships and we just give all that money back to the fishermen. A certain percentage of every sponsorship goes into the charity fund.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, the more sponsors we have, the bigger we can grow, the more money we can raise, and the more people we can help.
Of course.
So that's what sponsorship's all about.
But if I can mention them on here and give them a 10-second plug, people don't realize, and that's one thing we have talked about is people don't realize the reach that, and I know this is an old country podcast and things like that, but a lot of people love our simple concept. We have listeners all the way from Texas all the way up to Pennsylvania. I'm blessed to be the North Carolina coach for Salt Strong, so that increases my network all across. They're now at 70,000 members paid, and so I do a weekly thing with them. And so when we put stuff out there, like all these people are now, okay, they may not have heard of a Bay Rider boat. They may not have heard of a Park boat. They may not have heard of one of our other sponsors. But they may say, daggone, I do restaurant equipment, and I like doing that kind of stuff, so let me call that guy. Or I may, quality attracts quality. And that's why we take the time when we do this kind of stuff. We're not getting anything back from sponsors either. But honestly, if they want to help and I can help them for a second, right, I'll help them. I mean, that's me and Gaston feel the same way. Is if we can mention that and you can get plugged in with someone, if you got to do that business or that's in your realm, why not work with other good people? There's enough shysters out there. Let's get with some good people. That's
Well,
the way I
this,
look at it.
like Chris said earlier, this is our pivotal year. You know, Bull Bay Rods come on with us. The first thing that Rick had, Hess asked me about was, you know, what are you doing with the kids? And I told him, he's sending us a bunch of rods for the kids and stuff, and then Florida fishing products, reels. You know, Matt said, "Hey man, what you need? What can we do?"
And
they jumped on board.
There.
You know, it's not always about just giving us money. It's about product too. What can we do to promote you? What can you do so that we'll have something to give back to the kids and the winners of the tournaments and things of that nature? You know, in May is our biggest fundraiser, the Randy Lee tournament. That's where we raise the bulk of our money throughout the year to help families. So we want everybody to come out and fish that one. Gotcha. Go ahead, Craig. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So
We'll get to the schedule eventually.
So the June tournament is actually again going to be in Swan Quarter. So that's another location change for us, which is it gives people another place to fish from, and so that's nice. And then usually we don't have that June tournament, but after that we kind of take a little break, and in August we started this last year. We're doing a summer flounder slam. Because with Fish Donkey, we're not handcuffed to what we can keep. We could have a tournament for anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a bull drum tournament.
Correct.
If you wanted to.
You could. As long as you can weigh them and put them back alive, you can have any kind of tournament you want to. So the guys last year came to us and said, we want to do a flounder tournament. And I think honestly, that was one of the funnest tournaments.
Yeah, no pressure.
No, I mean everybody showed up that morning and they paid their registration fee, and everybody went flounder fishing, and the feedback we got from the guys was unbelievable how much fun they had with that. And so we're going to do that again this year in August. I think it's the 15th of August, summer flounder slam. And then we'll go right back into our normal schedule. September will be one of our points tournaments. We have a tournament in October and November, and then our championship is in December. But in between that, in October, will be the Belhaven Trout Festival and Tournament, which, Tim, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do. Before I do that, I want to mention this. Bryan is helping us. BQ Grills out of Elm City. They're one of our sponsors, and they.
I seen the grill sitting up front when I
gave
walked
us
in.
a grill. Brandon Batchelor that worked here at Park Boat Company last year, the Friday of the Belhaven Trout Tournament Festival, tragically lost his life. His 7-month-old daughter. So we talked to Melvin at BQ Grills. We got a grill here that we're selling raffle tickets, $10 a piece. We're going to give it away the 28th of March. I'm going to draw a winner out of that, and that's going to start a scholarship fund for her so that when she gets out of high school and that money is available for her to go to school, she can look back and go, my dad's still providing for me. Yeah. She'll never know it, So that's one of the things that we've done. So I wanted to mention that before I forgot about it.
And what is the ways they can? I know they can come here and buy tickets. But how else can they get tickets?
Well, yeah.
Is this the best way to come? Just come right here to Park Boat?
Come to Park Boat Company. Get up with me or Lambert. We've got tickets. You can get them. Message us on Facebook. You know, most people's got our numbers. Text us, whatever. We'll get with you. But yeah, stop by here. You know, it's the easiest way because Bryan's got a bunch of tickets here.
And you can put your hands on it, look at it, and all that kind of stuff, and see the quality of the grill. And
These guys
I can
do
tell
a
you,
good job. Makes me want to buy one.
I got two. I got a patio and a pit cooker. So
Melvin knew what he was doing, sticking that grill in front
that's
of
right.
me.
yeah,
That's right.
So, but yeah, the Belhaven Trout Tournament Festival this year is we'll be back at the bridge, the big bridge, the new ramp, which is going to be super nice.
excited to see that.
I am
finish.
too. It's going to be amazing there in Belhaven. Started this will be our 4th year, and it raises scholarships for trade schools for Beaufort Community College. As of this year, Hugh Sutton and myself will be presenting a check Monday at the college, and it'll be $100,000 in 3 years.
Good God.
That we raised.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
150 scholarships that we've provided so far.
And y'all, not to pat you on not to brag, but to pat you on the back and say they actually named part of that
Yes.
that area after.
The boat building class out there, the boat building itself is the Belhaven Trout Fest Boat Building Laboratory.
Yeah.
I had to think about it. We did that. Yeah,
That's a whole lot to put in there.
And if you go in and see Aaron there at the school, you can go in and you can see it. It's beautiful letters on the wall there, really nice. And some students have come out and got some great jobs from there. So that's how it started out, was just for the boat building, because we didn't have a clue that we were going to raise that kind of money. We figured if we'd done $10,000-$15,000 a year would be good, but it just come out of the first year $30,000. The college came to us and said, we got other trades that need help. So we're like, we're good. You know, wherever the need is to help our young people learn a trade, so that hopefully they'll stay in the community and go to work here.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to do. But the Belhaven Trout Tournament Festival, again, this year is the 23rd, 24th of October. We moved it to the weekend before Halloween because we had it at the beginning of the month, and we've had a weather event, plus a lot of other festivals going on that same weekend. So there's nothing to compete with us that weekend. Hopefully the fishing will be better. It's later in the month. It's a 2-day tournament.
I know
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Go, keep on going.
But great time. You know, if we get 60 boats, it's $10,000 guaranteed first place. Even I think 58 boats year before last we had, and the first place team, because of the side pots and the big fish and so forth, they went home with almost $20,000. So. But let me throw this in.
Bryan said that you had a great place you could spend that kind of money to upgrade
Yes,
your boat.
absolutely.
Right here in the showroom.
Just roll that into a new boat.
We-
That's right.
But the one thing I can say about this, even with our regular ECIC tournaments, but especially the Belhaven Trout Tournament Festival, every year the teams that have won money, after the pictures were taken and trophies and all of the accolades were gone, they turned around handing us an envelope with cash in it and said, we want to go that to the charity. So not only are people winning money, you know, everybody thinks, well, they took that money and went home. No, a big part of that money came right back into the charity.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say that because people that don't know, and we get a lot of trolls, as I call them, on the Facebook page, all they doing is giving away money, you know, this, that, and the other.
But you know, even if you did, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, if that's the purpose of it, but that's not the purpose,
That's
right?
not the purpose. If people really knew all that ECIC does for the community, and I think the word is starting to get around, how much money we spend helping families, they would have a different point of view of things.
And the best way you can come and be more detective-like is get you a boat and come fish.
That's right.
There you go. That's the best
And
way to come be a part
I
of it.
want to add that not one person in ECIC makes a dime, not even a penny, off of anything we do. It costs several of us, Ivey, myself, Lambert, it costs us money to run these tournaments.
we know.
We
know
about that, don't you?
Yeah,
So,
a little bit.
Nobody's getting paid. We're not getting reimbursed for anything. We don't worry about that. We just do it because we know what it's going to. I've always believed in helping those less fortunate than I am.
Hopefully, it'll come back in different ways. Right?
Well, God's been good to me.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
it'll come back in different ways.
I've never. You can look at me and tell I ain't missed a meal. So.
You are the face, Tim.
I know.
You are beautiful.
Yeah, just don't look past the neck down.
He's the face.
I'm the face.
But I'll talk about the Belhaven thing. Kind of inspired me, and Tim willing to bring a tournament to Washington. I think that this season kickoff 2-day, we can grow it into something like Belhaven. Maybe get more community involvement, more local business support, and continue to grow that whole process of donating to the community college or whatever charitable fund or organization you donate it to. But I thought it was my first time ever being to a fishing tournament, period. And I was blown away with the club, all the participants, all the sponsors, all the people in the community that came out and volunteered and helped. It was a really cool feeling.
I mean, just look at the vendors that it provides a place to sell products for. Just look at the kids. I was able to carry my kid out, right, and do some things and eat some food and meet some people, and you look at all that kind of stuff, and it's one more thing that if you're looking for something to do, free, something to do out there in the community, a positive thing you can do with your family, it's one more thing to add. There's nothing bad about it. There's not one bad thing about it.
I didn't taste a bad sample of that pork cook-off either. Every bit of it.
And Letchworth, Michael Letchworth with Sam Jones
Yep.
at Fox Hollow, did that, and man, I'm telling you, there's nothing bad about it. I can tell you, it's pretty good. So,
And it's going to be bigger and better this year. We're already working on, all the details of everything since it's going to be back at the bridge and stuff. And I've got a meeting in a couple of weeks with the BTTF committee to make it better. So we're hoping this year to even have a bigger crowd to come out.
and that's really neat about that. And also, like I said, I know with the noose, I know with you guys, it doesn't interfere with any tournaments. I know with the Todd Willis Open's always the third Saturday in October, so you guys actually go. Most of y'all's guys go down to participate in that as well, out of Vandermeer.
Yep.
The Todd Willis Memorial is always the third Saturday in October, and I've been blessed to be a part of that now for a couple of years, and I'll be there this year. And so, I mean, I know there's nothing in the way of why you can't participate. They've gone out of their way to make sure it doesn't interfere with area clubs
we
or groups.
we schedule our tournaments around that.
Yeah, and you do it together. You guys have become, let's say, how can we better the whole area of Eastern North Carolina, not how can we draw them just to us? How can we make Eastern North Carolina better? And that's what it's all about. It's not about drawing boundaries and lines and just bringing them to our little area. It's how can we make it accessible and fun and charitable for the whole area. So, I mean, you look right on down from Jacksonville north. I mean, you've got guys coming from all over, but, I mean, these tournaments are touching people from Virginia line all the way down, right on past Jacksonville, Havelock, I mean, right on west. I mean, it's impacting a lot of people to the coast, and it's just amazing the amount of reach and giving back that is taking place. And yeah, it's just amazing to me. Now, I know there's something different this year that you guys have partnered with, and I say the Noose because you guys have partnered with the Noose River Fishers of Men this year with your schedule and with their schedule to have something a little different this year called King of the River. Is that right?
Yeah.
So why don't you guys talk about that a little bit of what's going to go on with that?
Yeah, we've always we have guys that fish down in
both series.
Noose Rivers Fishers of Men, and we also have guys fish ECIC and back and forth, and we support each other. And I want everybody out there that listens to this to understand we have a tremendous relationship with Noose River Fishers of Men and Bryan, and we work like Tim said. And again, Tim was patting me on the back earlier, but he really is the face. He's not only the face, but he's behind the scenes running around, and he is the relationship guy. He builds these relationships, and it's phenomenal what we're able to accomplish off the work that he does. So, but needless to say, we were talking, what can we do to involve everybody and make it like a next step and make it really cool and exciting. So years ago there was what they called a King of the River tournament.
Okay.
And we just spitballing amongst everybody. We're like, well, what if we had actually like a championship tournament that pitted the best from Noose River Fishers of Men against the best from Eastern Carolina Inshore Club, And then somebody said, well, what if we called it like King of the Rivers?
I bet they did that thinking of you, Gaston.
Yeah.
I bet they did because technically
named it after you.
he is the king of the Pungo. So I mean, he's the king of Pungo Creek.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah. So if not, your dad is. So either way, we have got the king of Pungo right here at the table.
the
So
prince.
yeah, that's right. So y'all can be the prince, the prince of the river. That's
There
what you
you
can
go.
be. Okay. Well, I just wanted to clear that up. We have the king right here.
So we talked to Bryan, and Tim and Bryan got together and decided that we would do that endeavor and have a King of the Rivers tournament. So what we're going to do this year for the first time is our top 15 in points at the end of the year and their top 15 in points from the end of this year will have a King of the Rivers tournament in February of 2027. And there's still a lot more details to come, but Tim and Bryan actually met up at Greenville Marine last week and did a drawing to see which side we would fish first. And when we fish on their side, we'll fish their rules, and when they fish on our side the next year, we'll fish our rules. So, and they have a little different bag creel than we do. They have a multi-species, whereas we concentrate on speckled trout.
They do trout, reds, flounder, and striper on their end.
Yes.
I fished one of theirs last year's, and I can tell you, it was different. It made you think. It made you plan your day. It did all that stuff. It was totally different. Where on this, both of them have their rewards and their kinds, and they have. But it made you think. So you boys in the ECIC, when you get ready, if you ain't fished it and you go down there, you might want to pre-fish a little bit to get your mind right, because the pamlico and the noose are totally different bodies of water, and they're familiar. Don't be wrong, fish are fish, but it's different. I mean, it is different, and I got my butt handed to me the first time I walked down there, so it was different.
Yeah, there's no doubt, especially when you're in February and you're trying to catch a flounder or a drum.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting, but
I'll give you a tip. If you're good at trout fishing, you can walk out of there and win that thing with your trout limit and one other fish. I've seen it happen. So you don't have to worry about catching every species and whatever. You can still compete just as fine. I mean, because some people will chase the big bags and all the little pots, and some people will chase. We went after trout and a striper. That's the way we approached it. Was if we can get our trout bag limit and a good bag limit, then we'll take the time and do a striper. And I've seen people do real well with that. I mean, there's different theories, but you'll see some people that say, "Hey, I don't care about nothing but winning that flounder pot," and they'll just go fish flounder all day. It's just, it's different. It's
And
different.
I just want to add you what Chris said a while ago about how well we work together. It's not about one trail or the other. We may be two separate trails, but we work together as one.
Oh, yeah.
We schedule our schedule around Bryan's, and usually he lets us make ours first. But if there's a date that he really needed or wanted for a particular reason, I'll change ours before we ever post it out. We work really well together. We try to promote them and help them. I mean, ECIC sponsors them. Salty Bay Bait sponsors them. That's our deal. And so we try to do what we can to help them too. So it's a brotherhood.
That's right.
We all are after the same end result. How many families and people can we help?
That's it.
So I just wanted to add that.
So I know there's a little bit more with that King of the River tournament also, right?
yeah, it's kind of cool too, because you got to think about it. There's some real hammers in both of those series, some really good fishermen. So it's going to be fun. But we're also going to do so. Not only you'll be, if you win it, they'll do a top 5 obviously for King of the Rivers, but whoever wins it will get their name on a plaque each year and get to keep the plaque for the year, and then the next year whoever it is will get their name inscribed on the plaque, and they'll be able to keep it for that.
So it'd be like the little gold things on there, like the little plaque on each one, and each one will keep adding to it.
It's a beautiful plaque that Just Right Laser and Farm will design for us. It's got ECIC's logo. It's got News River Fishers of Men logo on there. In the middle is a crown with King of the Rivers. Then it's got the little gold tags. And if News Riverside wins it one year, their name will go on there. They, like you said, bragging rights, keep it all year long, bring it back the next time. If we win it, then our name will go on there and we keep it all year. So it's a really cool deal.
And if you don't give it back, we'll send the sheriff to get you.
You got connections.
And we might have connections on that part. That's right. That's right. So I mean, a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of good stuff taking place, things that are just making major impacts in the community. I mean, we've got our new kickoff going on this month. Of course, the stun has impacted tons of areas, but you still can make a run and get to where fish are. I would say, practice catch and release, especially till we can get through these spawns, with all of our anglers out there. I know everybody likes to eat fish, but, there are other options right now. So we love to practice conservation on this podcast in any way we can. Don't get me wrong. We'd love to put fish in grease as much as anybody in this world. But any fish we can keep in that water and let them spawn through the summer will keep us well ahead for years to come. And if you have not seen the impact that the cold stun put out there, I know we don't like talking about it and different things, but let's just be real. It put a hurting on our waters this time.
I hadn't seen it this bad. Probably the last time I saw this, which I'm older than all of y'all,
When Moses parted.
Yeah, when Moses parted.
He saw him on the bank going across.
Yeah. 1989. So,
He saw him put the Ten Commandments in the ark.
yeah, that's right.
89 was a good year.
89 is the last time I seen a stun this bad, and so yeah, it is bad. But it's God's way of checks and balances. They come out in the ocean. They will survive. They will come back. Don't panic.
They didn't get them all.
It's going to happen.
But the good news is we've seen a bunch of gar that got to, and they were getting mighty plentiful. And so we did. Maybe some of them bait fish have a better chance.
I'm a really good gar fisherman, by the way.
Well, I am too.
We could have a gar tournament.
You could have. All you need is a bare treble. That's all you need.
That's it.
Well, I think it was Ivey mentioned earlier, bluefish. We need to get some of them out of the water.
Oh man, I tell you, it's just a lot of good stuff going on, and I mean, just can't thank you enough for having us here today. Beautiful place.
Thank you.
Good surroundings. You've probably heard a little bit of background noise, but let's be real. If you ain't hearing noise, they ain't making sales, and there's something. So people are still fired up about the upcoming season. The weather's going to break, and there's upcoming 70s coming in the next few weeks, so that's good. People getting back on the water, enjoying boats and different things. Get it out the barn, clean it up, bring it in for service, and of course, if you need to trade it and get you a new one, I believe we got a couple places that can help you do that. But just a lot of really good sponsors that have come on board, a lot of good things to look forward to as we're coming out of this cold weather and different stuff like that. Anything else that we have missed, we haven't talked about, anything that you want to highlight? I mean,
I do want to highlight one more time Park Boat Company and Bryan and in Austin here by being so receptive to us. I've rode by this place all my life. Don't know that I ever came in here. But we built a relationship. They've got anything you want here. Pontoons, fishing boats, pleasure boats, whatever you want.
I bought my big Bertha from here. The what's that thing called that goes behind the boat? Like the tube the kids ride on. Matter of fact, they had them. We could look at them. We bought our big Bertha from here. And they got all that kind of stuff here too. So, it's not just a boat. They have all kind of stuff. And we bought air pumps from here, like the little blow up you stuff. I mean, we even bought that from here. So, I mean, we've actually done that in the past.
They do service work for all our guys. So they got a great service staff.
So
here.
y'all are more based on the Yamaha side, though. Is that correct?
We're both. We do Yamaha and Mercury, and Suzuki as well. We're not a Suzuki dealer, but we still service them.
I saw a lot of Mercury's and Yamahas while I was looking up.
We're primarily Yamaha. I mean, that's our bread and butter, but we are a Mercury dealer as
because
well.
I mean, boys are running all those, right? So honestly, if you know somebody that works on a Yamaha every day and they can work on your boat and you got a Yamaha, that's where I want to carry my stuff to, right? Don't get me wrong, Shade Tree's great, and there's some good ones, but nowadays stuff is so. Right, we just got our new boats, and stuff is so intricate and so high tech that when I get it done, I want it done right. Because I mean, if something messes up, it's going to cost you a whole lot. And so, having somewhere that you can bring that works on those brands of motors is definitely a plus. And knowing this right here in your backyard, you ain't got to make a long drive and that kind of stuff.
We ain't the cheapest, but we spend a lot of money on computer systems and special tools and things like that because these new engines are so sophisticated.
Well,
I mean,
cheapest ain't always best, and I mean, it's like anything else. You get what you pay for sometimes, and if you don't believe me, go get you one of them steaks from the low-dollar guy on the side of the road. You can get 30 steaks for $30, and then go get you a good old ribeye and see if you like it.
Well, don't talk junk. Those cheap steaks, that's what I gave Tim last time.
I know, but we
but I was hungry, so
He's still chewing it.
but you don't realize we put three of them on top of each other and made it a stack, like a cheeseburger.
But we do a 20% discount for all the guys that fish in the ECIC, so that helps a little bit.
Hey, did not know that. So there you go. There's your plug right there, y'all.
Yep.
A 20% discount if you're fishing the tournament or fishing the trail.
On service work. I can't do that on boats, but but on service work.
Oh, I had done picked my boat
I
out when you said
I saw Tim's
20%.
eyes get real big
Yeah.
there, and I was like, I better clarify
You
that.
know which one I want over there, so you know.
That's right.
No, just a great facility, great people. They've been very welcoming to us this morning as we come in here, and just want to say thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Oh yeah. Anything else that we missed? Like I said, I know we can do it, getting yapping and talking and sidebarring down little rabbit holes, but just want to make sure anything else is covered.
Well, I enjoy this podcast because, like, so it's not set in stone what you got to talk about. We can, whatever comes to your mind, we can just relax. We really appreciate. I called Cory last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And said, "Hey man, I got an idea," and he was like, "Let me call Gaston. Let me call
Prince
him."
of Pungo.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And then he called me right back within 15 minutes. Said, "How about next Friday?" And you know, sometimes I have to make a decision without asking people. So I went on and pulled the trigger on it. Then I called Bryan and said, "Oh, by the way," and Bryan was like, "Yeah, man, we good. Come on." So you know.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing is sometimes, you know, when you have the ability to be a little more flexible and to take things out of studio and to do different things, you know, we've chosen to do this route for a reason, and that's so we can, you know, we don't claim to. We honestly have every bit of the big board equipment, the individual, we've got it all. But this has been the way that we have found that works the best for us, and that's okay. And there's other people that follow other patterns, but we couldn't have done that as easy and as flexible to do something like this today without interrupting your business and doing different stuff, and that's okay. And I love it, man. So far, it's been a blast. I know we've been off for a few months, and like I said, I want to apologize. That's been a lot going on behind the scenes and things I've had going on. And, you know, just it's part of life, and we definitely didn't plan it that way. But we're back, and we're going to be rolling along. So please, like I said, come on, tune back in. Get caught up if you hadn't heard any of the previous ones. There's a lot of great ones there that you can go back and check in when you're riding and listening to. And but yeah, just a lot of great information and more information to come. We highlight Eastern North Carolina people, Eastern North Carolina places, Eastern North Carolina connections that may have moved on a little bit out of the area, but this is where they got their start, and they're heavy in the roots. And that's our goal here at ECIC and News for Fishers of Men and the podcast and the Park Boat and all these places that come together. I can tell you on this podcast, you're never going to hear something that you can't listen to with your son or daughter in the car. You know, you're never going to listen to stuff like that. And it's just going to be family-centered, fishing-minded, and most of all, like I said, just come back and do what we can to give to the community. It's all in the same type realm. And we really appreciate those that have come along and sponsored us this year. We do have sponsors, as you've heard here at the beginning, that have come along, and there are monthly costs associated with podcasts and different things that we kind of ate last year with equipment and with setting up and doing different stuff where we can broadcast it out from all over the world, actually. But you know, we had 50,000 listens last year, and that's a big thing with a little tiny podcast. And so, like I said, we appreciate you if you've been away, coming back and spreading the word for us. Hey, we look forward to what 2026 brings and getting back to the grind. But hey, from myself, Cory Furlow,
Gaston King.
Bryan Harris.
Chris Ivey.
And Tim Askew.
thank you for coming along. Appreciate you. God bless you, and we'll see you on the water.
There's nothing finer to me than to be on the water when that sun comes peeking in under that Carolina sky in the Lord's creation, ripping some lips on my favorite waters, taping blind hog adventures with some of my best buddies.